This is Tai Lopez.
Here in my garage, just bought this new Lamborghini.
And last week, he and his team asked me to do a presentation on my knowledge around YouTube. Sorry, I had to do it at least once. The same knowledge that's been able to help my clients make well over $1 million from YouTube without ever having to go viral. So I did exactly that. And in this video, not only will you get access to the entire training, but you'll get to hear from Tai himself why YouTube is the most important platform when it comes to scaling your business. Let's not waste any more time and get into it. Now, just let me know, once again, with some thumbs up if you can see my screen or type in the chat. Cool. Perfect. So today's presentation is about how to max out your sales calendar to the point you need to 3x your sales team without spending a dime on ads, without sending a single DM, which sounds like a pretty crazy claim. And obviously you had to spice it up for the title, but it's because it's true. So here are some of our clients. We've generated over $1 million in directly attributable revenue from YouTube for our clients. So Marshall Cruz, he runs a coaching business teaching other people how to scale clothing brands. He's done over $300,000 from 9 YouTube videos in direct attributable revenue. We got Alex Beck here, another one of our clients who's done over 250K from 6 videos, and he teaches people how to land a high ticket sales job as well as place them in an offer. So it's a bit of a placement agency. Here's some videos we've done with him. I also dropped an interview with him today, actually, that I can send to you guys later as well if you want to get more in depth there. But yeah, and then we got CJ Weber, who's done over $100,000 from 8 videos, and he teaches people how to scale on TikTok Shop. So all these are 3 of the bigger clients that I can share in terms of YouTube organic. But as you can see, like doing $300,000, $250,000, $100,000 from only 8, 6, and I think it was 6 videos again seems pretty crazy, but that's exactly what I'm going to teach you today is how it's possible, why YouTube's the best opportunity to do that, to whether it's to scale your info business, your agency, or even an e-com product. So some other additional clients that I mentioned too, Tracy McGrady, Hezbollah Magomedov, kind of just added this in for more social proof and a little bit of a flex, I guess. I don't know, it's pretty cool. I like basketball a lot, so T-Mac's a fun one to work with. Same with Hezbollah. Been with them for a few years, but cool. Now, just a little bit more about us, just to give you guys some context. So I run a content agency and we work with some of the largest creators that you've just seen. We don't just edit videos, we handle ideation, scripting, filming, thumbnails. So essentially everything in the entire content creation process, right? And then our goal is always to optimize for sales and conversions rather than just views, because like, views don't pay the bills. And you'll see that through this presentation. Some of our clients, one thing I didn't mention is some of our clients like Alex, 250K through 6 videos. He only has 5,000 subscribers on YouTube. CJ, 100,000 through YouTube, only has 4,000 subscribers, right? So it's a very realistic goal for quite literally anybody who owns a business. You don't need millions of views. You don't need millions of subscribers. You just need direct content, which I'll teach you today. Or I skipped something. And then just some more info, because I know there's a lot of people that probably hop on coaching calls and, sell you the dream, but they don't actually do it themselves. So here's my Instagram. I've done over 30K cash collected from only 20 posts. I have been a bit lazy there and I could probably double or triple it, but just to show you that with 6K followers, you can still make conversions. This is on Instagram. And then my business partner, Steven, he has 4K subs on YouTube, all strictly talking about micro niche content, about how to scale a business using content. So yeah, just added this in just so you know that you are speaking to someone who, yes, does it for their clients, but also knows how to replicate it for themselves. And I'm not like a celebrity or a big face in any way, shape, or form. Everything clear so far? Just want to make sure things are good. Perfect. Cool. So let's start with the why and why YouTube is the biggest opportunity right now to scale any type of business, like I mentioned earlier. So to start off, it's the second largest search engine in the world. When I made this presentation, it had 2.7 billion monthly active users, but I think it's closer to 3 now. So if you even got 0.1% of people to randomly stumble across your content, right, that's 2.7 million people. So it kind of shows you why it's such a strong platform, because quite literally everybody's on it. 2, people don't buy from those that they don't trust. So basically every prospect, whether you're running an ad, you're using, Instagram, you're tweeting, you're doing whatever, sending cold email, cold outreach, no matter what, they always take their time to search who is this person they're reaching out to? And most of the time, they're searching out your YouTube channel, right? So this is why you kind of need to create this asset because they are looking for additional content, especially because your competitors are doing the exact same thing. They have their channels already made. They have content that exists. It's just more time that you can spend with a potential prospect to build trust. So what we have noticed in our space so far is that if you haven't posted a single video, but your competition has posted at least 10, they will consume those 10 videos created by their competition. They will trust your competition because they were able to see video proof of their service working, and your competition is winning that potential customer simply because that content exists. It's not because they have a better product than you or anything along those lines. It's because the person who's doing the due diligence to research who's reaching out to them is actually sees something there, right? They know their offer actually exists. They know it works. They know they can talk about it. Which is a big reason why you need to be on YouTube. Three, your close rate will increase. So without a personal brand, your sales call can be quite grueling. You kind of spend the first 10 minutes explaining who you are to the prospect. They didn't care to read through your portfolio or whatever case studies you sent them. And YouTube basically eliminates this process entirely, right? So our entire goal is centered around how can we bring people to you? How can we book calls inbound? How can we stop doing outbound? So by the time someone hops on a call with you, they already know who you are, they know what you do, and they know why what you do works. They simply just want to have maybe a 10, 15, 30-minute conversation about, how can we move this forward? Um, so if someone has all the information already, it makes the sales process quite seamless. And then four, content diversification. So not everyone loves to read long posts or emails or anything along those lines, especially as time moves forward, people are reading less. It's important to read, but yeah, it's just the reality of things. And so instead, they might watch a 10-minute video on the exact same topic, all right? Things broken down clearly, concisely, etc. So YouTube allows you to meet them where, the market's moving, and that's more into video format. So yeah, obviously having both is important. You always want to be on as many platforms as possible, reaching as many eyeballs as possible, but YouTube should be the core because that's how things are moving forward. And if that didn't convince you enough, YouTube has pulled ahead of Netflix in terms of monthly viewers. Um, and that's not slowing down anytime soon. So YouTube is the king in terms of anything video format related. And I also want to add on to this in relation to, Instagram, TikTok, etc. YouTube is where people come to learn, right? They treat it like Google. They are searching things like how to scale my business, how to use cold email to, land XYZ clients per month. On TikTok, Instagram, they're just scrolling. They're just, rotting their brains. You can't really target who exactly you're looking for, whereas YouTube, it's a lot different. So yeah, and just to hammer on this point, I use Tai as an example here, but things aren't easy as they used to be. The way it used to be back then, I'm sure you guys have all seen this famous ad of here, it's, the car, and here's my Lamborghini in my garage, whatever it was. But most of the time back then, they saw the ad, they booked the call, and you close, right? Like that's how it used to be. But nowadays, they see your ad, they click on your Meta account, they follow because they're interested in what you're teaching. They, consume a bit more content on your IG, Facebook, wherever. They see a YouTube profile in the bio and they click. They watch 5 to 8 hours worth of your YouTube content. They try the actual business model that you are teaching. They try it on their own. They realize it's hard, that they can't do it. They come back to your videos and then they book a call. They watch more videos before they book a call, before they hop on the call, and then you close, right? So it's much, much different than it used to be. And this is why I'm going to keep harping on this point, but the market's not the same as it was 5, 10 years ago. And this is how it's going to be moving forward. So YouTube essentially fills the trust gap that your ads and tweets create, right? They see your name everywhere, but they still don't know if they can trust this person. With long form video, you're able to teach as much as you possibly can in a longer amount of time. Whereas, on Instagram in an ad, you only have 60 seconds, right? No one can learn about your business model in that amount of time. So yeah, there's that. So yeah, moving on in the presentation, here's how to exactly create content that actually builds trust and pays you to actively sell your audience. So here's a video that we did with our client Marshall. It has about 377,000 views since it's published. And the estimated revenue on YouTube itself from AdSense, etc. It's nice, it's cool, it's 3K, but what this actual video has done His title is Starting a Clothing Brand 2025 is simple. Actually, it's a free course. It's essentially just a VSL, but we made it into a free course. It is the sole reason he's done over $300,000 on his YouTube channel, right? So this single video, yes, in YouTube revenue, it's done 3K, but in back-end sales, in calls booked, etc., it's done over $300,000, which is very close to even the view rate. Compare that to an IG video where if you got 20 million views, I guarantee you don't make close to that amount, right? And as the presentation goes on, I'll explain to you what we did with this video, why it works, etc. So overall, your YouTube videos should have two goals. So either you sell the viewer on why your unique mechanism is more valuable than your competitors, and this can be, the business model itself. You can structure that as a unique mechanism, or the actual strategy you use to scale a business model, right? So an example of that would be, if you guys know what TikTok Shop affiliate is, it's a pretty poppin' business model at the moment. Some people can make videos, targeting why TikTok Shop affiliate is the greatest online making money method of 2025, etc. And that's teaching the business model itself. But you can also focus on, how to get to 5,000 followers as fast as possible on TikTok, how to reach 10K a month as fast as possible with TikTok Shop affiliate. And that's more so strategy based, but they're both using your unique mechanisms to explain why they work. And secondly, why you're the right person to take them to their desired result. So those are the two goals with your YouTube videos, which is what we do with every single one of our clients. Um, so before you even dare pick up the camera, you need to understand who you will be speaking to. So this is just the start, the fundamentals of when you start your channel, that you need to understand this stuff before you post a single piece of content. There's five type of viewers. I'm sure many of you have already seen the, marketing awareness funnel. You've probably seen this before, but maybe not applied to YouTube. But these are the five kind of viewers. There's the unaware viewer. So it's someone who's completely oblivious to their problem or need. So they maybe have heard the phrase make money online before from an Instagram reel, or seen it somewhere, but they just don't know that they need to make money online. They don't know why, etc. They're very unaware. Two is problem aware. So the potential viewer understands they have a problem. They get no leads, they get no views, etc., but they don't know a solution. Three, solution aware. So they know the solution exists, but they don't know that your product or service solves it. Four, product aware viewers. They know what you offer. They know there's other options around, but they just don't know why your unique mechanisms are going to help them reach their goals faster. And five, the most aware viewer. It's when someone's extremely well informed about your offer. They understand what you offer, how it solves their problem. And your goal with this audience is not to educate them about the problem, but to convince them why they should work with you. So those are the five types of viewers, and each one is extremely important because these are all your potential buyers. Some are more so than others, but each one you need to make dedicated videos for them. So what order should I make my videos? So the goal of top of funnel content is to capture as many viewers as possible, transition them to solution aware viewer by the end of the video. And two, the goal of bottom of funnel content is to demonstrate to the viewer why they shouldn't buy from anyone else and that your solution is the best solution. And if any of this sounds extremely confusing at the moment, I'll break it down pretty simply with client videos and how it actually works. But let's start with the top. This is the unaware type of unaware videos. This is where someone has no idea what business model works the best. They don't know much about online business or whatever it is. You want to make videos that convince them why your unique mechanism or your business model is the best for them to reach, whatever income result that they want. So in this video, it's titled TikTok Shop Affiliate Changed My Life. Now let's change yours. This is my client CJ. And our entire goal here was to talk about his life story, how, he tried all these different online make money business models, etc. And it was only TikTok Shop affiliate that worked for him, and how, right? So it's just, talking about your story, introducing people to the idea of, I'm sure you tried drop shipping in the past. I'm sure you tried this, but you should actually do this. And here's why, based on your own story. So that's the very top, and that should be, a video that exists on your channel. Two is problem aware. So slightly broader videos, or less broad videos, where you kind of reaffirm to the viewer that their problem will not go away if they don't implement your solution. So they understand the problem of, I don't make enough money online, or I don't do XYZ, or I still live with my parents trying to get out. It could be anything, but how can you actually now teach them how it works? So The first one's your life story, but now is actually how the business model works to the problem aware audience. So the title we went with this is the best side hustle we're starting in 2025, make $2,333 a day. And the reason we did that is because most people in the problem aware stage still don't know that your business model exists. They don't know the name of it, but they have heard the term side hustle before. They have heard the term make money online before. So you're trying to capture their eyeballs to bring them further down the funnel, which we'll get to. But yeah, that was the entire goal with this video. And all we do is walk through, once again, why other business models aren't the greatest. As you can see, Amazon FBA marketing, crypto, dropshipping, etc., and why TikTok Shop Affiliate is the S tier model, and explained it in a very simple way to these people who only know or who have only heard the term side hustle before. Which then brings you on to solution aware videos. The spacing is a little bit weird, but videos demonstrating that your solution is the best, but it requires the time and dedication of an expert for it to be extremely successful, and it should feel like a coaching call with you. So now people have watched these first two videos. They now know TikTok Shop Affiliate exists and it's the best model out there for them. But now you want to give them the exact blueprint of how to actually make money with it, which is in this video right here, which is the free TikTok Shop Affiliate Guide 2025. The title is like, "This info made me 300 something thousand dollars." So in this video, we essentially gave out every single one of his tactics on how to make money with TikTok Shop Affiliate, right? And this captures the solution aware viewer because they already know what TikTok Shop Affiliate is, but now they just need to know, okay, like how does it work? How can I make money with it? Which is why you always make a free course video. And this video, which I'll get into, is the most important on your channel. And yeah, we'll get into that. But from there, we move on to product aware. So videos where you focus on your unique mechanisms that make you stand out from your competitors, and you're hitting on similar topics as your competitors, but showcasing why your methods are different. So these are essentially more specific how-tos, which means, this free course is how to make money with TikTok Shop Affiliate, but a product aware video would be the fastest way to make 10K a month on TikTok Shop. So it's more specific, right? That's what a lot of people on CJ sales calls always ask is, how can I make money as fast as possible? How do I make 10K a month? So we made this video directly tailored to them. So it's a more specific how to. It's more so how to do it in the fastest way possible. And then finally, most aware. So it's once someone's watched all these types of content on your page, they're still not convinced that your solution will work for them. They just need to know that it's worked for somebody similar to them, right? So with this, all you do is just client interviews and case studies. So this video, he makes 12K a month at TikTok Shop Affiliate, working 30 minutes per day. It's just a client interview that CJ conducted. And these aren't meant to get high views. This video only has 1,000 views. But it's just there to build more trust. So when people have gone through the rest of your content, now they see these case studies with real people making actual money. They're more inclined to buy from you. So overall, you just need trust assets that speak to every type of viewer in order to build a channel that compounds and makes sales over years and not just days. And just the breakdown of it, which I won't get too into, but it's 20% top of funnel, which is these two. These two don't really matter as much. And where the money's at is your bottom of funnel, solution, product, and most aware videos. So move forward. Then how do you actually come up with these topics for videos, which is probably what most people are wondering, and that's the hardest part of the entire strategy. So I have four methods that we use for our clients. So one is use existing outliers in your niche and adjacent niches. So all an outlier is, you can install this tool vidIQ, which is what we use to analyze them, but it's if a video has much higher views compared to the subscriber count of the channel. As you can see here, this is a video we did with Marshall, which is an outlier, but we actually based it off of this video from this clothing brand owner named Yadster, which got 2.6 million views when he only had 30 to 40,000 subscribers, right? So we saw his title was How to Actually Start a Clothing Brand in 2023. We kind of capitalized on that search traffic of the term starting a clothing brand and just did it in a different way. Instead, we said starting a clothing brand in 2025 is simple, actually. So the big thing is we didn't take his video, we didn't copy it. We just took similar packaging and the psychology behind it and reframed it in a different way, which is why other competitors who did copy him only got diminishing results. So this guy pretty much copied the exact same thumbnail, start brand. He only got 5,000 views on his video. And the reason why is because people have already seen Yaster's videos. They know it exists. They see this thumbnail and his title. They're not going to click on it because they don't think they'll get any new information. Same thing too. Yasser actually tried to recreate his own video for 2025, but only got 26,000 views on a 100K subscriber channel. And it's because he tried to follow the same packaging that people have already seen before. Um, which is once again what we did with Marsh. Our variation got 400,000 views in only 4 months because we did a couple of things. The title is Starting a Clothing Brand 2025 is simple, actually. So we didn't copy the How to Start a Clothing Brand. You've seen this hundreds of times. Instead, we capitalized on the search term, like I already mentioned, as well as our thumbnail. So in our thumbnail, we focused on more of the design aspect of what actual clothing brand owners care about. When someone wants to start a clothing brand, they care to know the creative side of it, the design side of it. They're not trying to treat it like a drop shipping store, which is exactly what these thumbnails do. It makes it feel like you're gonna start a drop shipping store, right? So all this does is just allow people to look at a similar topic, but think they're gonna get new proprietary ideas. So all we did was combine these two elements, the thumbnail and the title, and make it feel like they're gonna get a new idea. And then in our script, which I'll get to with scripting, is we delivered on this exact promise that was given. Method two is creating videos around the most common objections and FAQs received on your sales calls. So, you obviously on your guys' own sales calls, you hear things like, I don't have time to do this, XYZ, it could be anything. One thing for Marshall, he'd always receive, we're in direct communication with his setters and closers, so they kind of give us his information, but people would always ask things about how much manufacturers cost, who is the best manufacturer, and it was really delay their sales process. So we made this crash course on how to find the best manufacturer for your clothing brand 2025. So by the time that someone hopped on the call with them, they've already seen this video, and that completely eliminates that question and objection. And closes fast. It allows them to close faster. So same thing with CJ. This fastest way to make 10K a month. A lot of people would ask, how long does it take to make 10K a month? What's a realistic time frame? So we just made this video, and it just tailors to those specific questions, which teaches you how long it takes and why CJ's mechanism is the best. So that's a very important one, is based on your common objections and FAQs. So you should definitely follow that. And then method three, which is one that we do that I don't see a lot of other content agencies doing whatsoever. So here's some additional sauce here, but leveraging authority and credibility of well-known names and business models. Like for example, I'll give you even a live example right now. With this coaching call that's about to be recorded, and I'll probably use it in my own ways on YouTube, etc. My title and thumbnail is going to be leveraging Tai Lopez's name, right? Teaching people how to start content, etc. Because that gets people interested. It gets them onto the actual video, where then I actually teach my unique mechanisms to progress them forward on YouTube. But that's exactly what we did with our client, Alex Beck. He used to work for Alex Hormozi's gym launch. Like I mentioned earlier, he has a sales agency. But the reason we followed this packaging, Alex Hormozi's $100 million sales strategy, ex-employee reveals all. It looks like them on a Zoom call, so you're going to get some insider information. Everyone knows Alex Hormozi in the business space, a very commonly well-known name. Alex Beck, our client, used to work at Gym Launch, which creates curiosity around this narrative. So when they see ex-employee reveals all, you think, you know, is he actually going to reveal everything? Did he actually work for Alex Hormozi? Like, wow, this is some real insider information. And it really piques the click. And three, in the actual video, Alex walks you through step by step how to completely transform your sales process with his own unique mechanisms, which he has evolved since his time during Gym Launch. So he didn't lie to everybody and use Hormozi's name. He still showed that social proof. He still explained how it was at Gym Launch, but then he explained how it's gotten better since he's left. And this video is by far the best performing on his channel. And additionally, our client CJ, we made this video called Don't Start WAP Clipping, Do This Instead. One of the biggest online making money opportunities right now is WAP. Their clipping program, there's 15-year-olds making X amount a month by just clipping other creators' content. And it has very adjacent skills to TikTok Shop Affiliate, right? Which is essentially creating short form content. So we made this video to really leverage the traffic that WAP's getting and kind of show, okay, well, why should we not be using WAP? What is this better opportunity? And once again, it's CJ's best performing video on his channel. And he just walks you through step by step why it's the best business model and why in each indicator of making money, time spent, the skills you pick up, why TikTok Shop Affiliate is better than WAP. So once again, it doesn't lie, but it still leverages that authority that WAP's already created. And then we also combine this with method one. We base it off of this famous outlier video. Don't start an IAA, started an LGA instead from his name's Levy something. But yeah, like you can always combine these methods as well to make the best videos possible. So we just borrowed authority as well as based it off an outlier video to make this video that has 40,000 views at the moment. Method four is creating content around the most commonly searched terms related to your industry. So this is one of my favorite tools, vidIQ, as well as I use Google Trends a lot. But essentially, with CJ's videos, in his space, TikTok Shop affiliate is extremely highly searched. It gets about, 200,000 searches per month and very low competition. These numbers aren't always accurate with vidIQ, so the only thing you should actually look at is when it says high and low. That's the most important. And what this shows us is that there's actual demand for the topics that he's creating videos on, right? So yeah, it's extremely search term. So we were able to make this video, the free TikTok Shop affiliate guide. We always use TikTok Shop affiliate in every single one of his titles to pick up search traffic. So as you can see, it has 19,000 views, but over 30% came from people searching TikTok Shop affiliate on YouTube. And that's always what you want to do with your videos because, once if you're strictly relating on browse or sending it to external traffic, that video will die one day. This video from CJ will not die. Like it will get views for years and years to come, right? And once again, once you get people on search and searching for search terms, they're already halfway sold on the business model itself because they already know it exists, right? They're searching TikTok Shop affiliate because they've seen it before. Now they're just looking for CJ's method to actually using it. And as you can see in the actual search traffic, 1,600 people came from TikTok Shop affiliate, 500 from TikTok affiliate, etc. Like affiliate is in every single one of these search terms. And that's real people searching this stuff up, getting views and coming to his video. So if you combine all four of these methods, you'll be perfectly fine with video ideas. And that's kind of step one of everything. But ideation is always number one. That's the most important. You don't need fancy editing. With some clients we do, other clients are straight up raw videos with no editing. It's always the idea and how can you capture the attention with each type of viewer, which is those first two fundamentals that I've kind of went through. And then thirdly, your actual copy, which is your, intro, the actual script of your video needs to be aligned with these topics if you want to achieve any type of success. So once again, I'll break down this free course video that got 400,000 videos with Marshall. So as you already saw what I broke down with the title, thumbnail, and why we did it that way, but here was the actual intro of the video. So just know for Marshall, we're selling B2C. It's a very unsophisticated audience. It's people in their early 20s, late teens, maybe early 30s who want to start a clothing brand. So you have to speak the way that they do. So, you know, excuse my if I cuss here, but the intro was it starts off with everyone's out here making starting a clothing brand seem complicated as F when it's actually really simple. So this first line reconfirms what the title and video topic states, because the title was starting a clothing brand 2025 is simple. So when they click this video, they hear the first line, they're like, okay, I didn't get clickbaited. And that's the first step always to keeping your retention high. Second, the next line, he says, you need 10K to start. You need to go to fashion school. You need to know how to design. It's all BS. So what this does is it handles every common limiting belief that a new clothing brand owner might have, right? So they understand by Marshall mentioning this that he has heard this before. He's heard these problems before. He is the right guy to, limit those limiting beliefs. And then next, he says, I started Team Psychotic, which is his clothing brand, without any sort of degree, minimal design experience, and definitely not $10,000. Now we're doing multiple six figures a month, have a community of diehard supporters, and we're just getting started. So in this line, he just gives social proof, which gives the viewer a reason to stay, right? So that's the fundamentals of how you should always start, depending on your video topic. But then we move forward to here's the truth about starting a clothing brand in 2025. Most people fail because they're trying to copy what worked in 2020. They're following outdated playbooks and wondering why they can't get traction. But I'm about to show you exactly what's working right now. This isn't some basic YouTube tutorial. This is literally a complete blueprint for starting and scaling a successful clothing brand in 2025. So what this next area of lines does is it shows that he has seen his competitors' videos and he knows that they're not teaching the correct methods, right? So you really want to minimize your competition with a line like this. And then finally, I've spent the last X years learning this stuff the hard way, made every mistake possible, and now I'm giving you the shortcut. And he just goes over what he's going to be covering, so each module. And all this does is you need to give the actual promise of what someone's going to learn and how they're going to get the desired outcome from a video. So typically the fundamentals of what we do with every type of script, we always try to have one form of or each form of these elements in every single intro, just to confirm why someone clicked on the video. And then next we have the thumbnail. So the copy on the thumbnail up here, it doesn't restate exactly what's said in the title. It has free course, which is the same, but it's to really hammer home that point. So it focuses on what clothing brand owners actually care about, being creative, which I mentioned, and it looks nothing like competitor thumbnails, which I showed you earlier. It's the guys holding the shirt with a 10K a month on like a phone, etc. So it makes them feel like they're going to receive new information. And to give you another example, I'm sure you guys have seen William Brown before, as well as you've heard of Iman Gadzhi, but William Brown also blew up on YouTube while covering the exact same topics as Iman Gadzhi, simply because his thumbnails look nothing like Iman's, right? So this video, how I'd make 10K a month ASAP if I had to start again, is an exact replica of a video Iman Gadzhi's made before. But all he did was just use a raw thumbnail. Um, and the only reason this worked is because everyone else saw Iman's videos blowing up and they tried to make the exact same thumbnails, trying to get the exact same attention, but it actually just brings them diminishing results, which is why William stood out because his actually looked different. But this doesn't mean that you should use a raw image in every thumbnail. All this means is just study your competitors, what are they doing, and how can I, take a new approach to the packaging while having the same psychology behind it, in the title. So yeah, there's my little note there. And then same thing with the title. Like I said, we capitalize on the search traffic from how to start a clothing brand because it's a commonly searched term. And we made sure to include free course on the thumbnail because it pairs with the length of the video. It's 47 minutes long, which confirms that this can be considered a course. Um, and yeah, each asset needs to work together. So YouTube rewards channels that keeps viewers on their platform for as long as possible. You have to make someone want to click your videos, and the longer they stay on a video, they go to another video on your channel, it shows YouTube that your channel is valuable, which brings more traffic to it overall. And a way that you can hack this system was actually developed by Mr. Beast himself. He puts end cards at every single one of his videos onto another, video that would pique that viewer's interest. So we've kind of took that as well and we found a way to force viewers to actually go through that funnel of unaware all the way to solution aware by actually putting end screens at the end of every single video that we do with Marshall. So all the traffic is then sent back to this free course slash VSL. And that's kind of the secret there is with end screens, you can get people to stay on your channel for as long as possible, getting YouTube to push your channel out more. And yeah, that pretty much concludes what I want to go over on the presentation. The biggest thing with YouTube is, it would take me 6+ hours to probably give you every single piece of information that we use for our clients and how to actually leverage it yourself. But this gives you the clear fundamentals of how to start and how to get results right away. And obviously that's what you guys care about, which is why I want to focus on that. But the reality is like you're gonna have to, you know, spend this time yourself. I'm not coming on here saying this is the easiest way to scale your business in the world, but it is one of the simplest. And once you understand this process, it's pretty repeatable and you can sign clients on autopilot or make sales for e-com product on autopilot. And it really works on the back end, which is why everything I've taught you is how to make a channel that compounds over time. Um, so overall, if you guys have any questions, you can feel free to book a free call with me or ask me any questions on Instagram. My ad's omar.creo. But yeah, essentially that's pretty much everything. And yeah, I guess now I'll field some questions. See if you guys want to start firing. Yeah, I see a couple in the chat already. Just got started with YouTube, got two channels, one for my affinity of travel, advice, geography, and other ongoing through digital products and courses. Yeah, it's important you do have two channels, so I'm glad you mentioned that. The biggest thing is you always want one topic or one business model per channel. You never want to mix audiences because that does nothing for you. I'm sure you've seen a lot of guys in the business space do, vlogs on the same channel, and then they teach you how to do this business model, and then next week they teach you another one. That's not the right way to scale your business, your YouTube channel, and that's why they're not sharing their actual numbers behind the channel. Um, yeah, exactly. Like you can't be cannibalizing your audience. You have to get really good at what you do and just teach people in the most transparent way possible. And then I see Ernie asked, "Is this faceless?" No, none of this is faceless. You can do the same thing for faceless. We obviously work with a lot of agency owners who are,
Hey,
front
what's up,
marketing.
Omar? How are you?
Good, good.
Todd,
How are you?
everybody learning something today? What's the number one thing you learned? What's the quick takeaway? What's the quick takeaway? Give me
That's
3 or 4 to 5 words. It's interesting to see what people take away from things. End screen, YouTube is king. 2 channels that are different business, structure matters, no cannibalizing. YouTube more important than Netflix. YouTube videos are trust. Don't need subscriptions to make money. Outliers, YouTube is the GOAT. Yeah, I agree with pretty much all this. One thing I would say is every platform now, there's like 13 main social media platforms. Okay. If you count things like Reddit and stuff like that, Pinterest, but everyone has what I call the expected experience, right? So the downside, like you can post long videos on Facebook or you can post long videos on Twitter. But the experience that people expect when they go to Twitter is kind of like short sound bites. Now they're trying to change that. They want to be more of a video platform, but still, the average Twitter user, that's what they're expecting. People go to LinkedIn, they're expecting business content. So the good thing about YouTube is people are expecting to go watch something for a long time. And you build a lot more brand value with a long video than a short one. If I had a choice between, you know, getting 1 million views on a 30-second short versus getting 10,000 views on a 2-hour YouTube video, I'm gonna go with the 10,000 views because if you do the minutes watch, which is the real metric to track in your personal brand or in your business brand, that's what you have to track, right? Uh, so yeah, go deep down the rabbit hole of long form videos. Obviously, YouTube Shorts is pretty big. I've had a couple YouTube Shorts go over 100 million. It's crazy. I've had some like sequencing, like reposting stuff. I think I've had 3 go over 100 million, but that's not the game I really want to play on YouTube. The game that I really want to play on YouTube is people watch an 18-minute video, a 30-minute video, a 90-minute video. So YouTube for that is the king, you know. It's not for Instagram still important because you have DMs. So for some things, Instagram still. I wish YouTube had not gotten rid of their DMs. I have no idea why they did that. But anyway, yeah,
Yeah, just to add on to that, like the way I always look at YouTube is it's intentional attention, right? Like you create topics around videos that, you take videos around topics that people actually want to view and that you want people to see. And the big thing is what I preach with my clients is yes, like you said, like every single other platform exists, but YouTube should be the basis of what you do, like you said, because of content minutes and time spent with you. And every other platform is important, but what YouTube does is it makes the rest of those easier. So if you're running ads, it'll lower your cost per call. If you're on Twitter, IG, wherever, your YouTube videos, you're building trust through them. You can funnel your followers to those additional platforms as well. And, it's there to assist everything you're doing. You don't have to just do one, but it's there to really just pour some oil on the fire and get things going even more.
yeah, for sure. For sure. This is a game everyone wants to play. I luckily started building my YouTube channel in 2009. I found the video, an '09 video where I go, oh man, YouTube has this new app. I can just, I was at the Laugh Factory with my friend Zach. I found it in my 2009 memories on my iPhone. And I go, look, Zach, I'm going to shoot a video of you. And because back then you had to upload it from your computer. So I go, oh, look, man, they got an app. Apps were new in 2009. And sure enough, 16 years later, I still post to YouTube. So for those of you, get with the program before it's too saturated. Now there's AI apps. AI pages being built. And so it's going to get more saturated. There's only so many human eyeballs. So you need to go crazy and immediately start a YouTube channel. Don't overthink it. Don't ask too many questions. Just build one. It's one of my mentors said, Ty, never be the first or the last to try a new idea. So you're definitely not the first or the last with a YouTube channel. Just build one. If you mess it up, you can delete it. It's people overthink things. It's free to build. Anything free you should try. I'll try a million things. If it's free, I won't even think about it. So
Yeah.
no paralysis by over analysis. All right, I'm gonna hand it back to you. And thanks for teaching. I appreciate it.
Yeah, appreciate you letting me on. I made sure to include the here in my garage
There
video
you
as
go.
well.
I saw WAP just did a video.
Yeah,
They just did an ad. I was talking to the owner, one of the founders, and it has here in my garage.
yeah,
It's like an AI ad. It's
the
pretty funny.
GTA one, yeah. Oh, that
Yeah.
was really good.
Okay. Talk soon.
Awesome. Yeah, I guess I'll continue to field some of the questions. Um, I'm not sure how much time I got left here, Christine. I'm not sure what you
Yep,
want to do.
we could do 5 minutes Q&A.
Perfect. Cool. Let's do it. What was the name of the software that I used? Yeah, vidIQ. I'll send you guys the link right now, just so you can keep it. It's vidIQ. I get engagement on YouTube Shorts and don't get any on long form. I'm new, but that seems to be the case to grow so far for me. So I'm not sure when you made your channel, but the biggest thing with YouTube now, especially like Ty mentioned, because of how many AI channels are being created, it takes a bit longer for, you to pass the vetting process. And the only thing to get through it is just to post more content, give YouTube more data to actually show you're a real human being. And that's how you get over that little engagement drop on long form. But yeah, like about 6 months ago, they increased the RPM of how much you get paid for YouTube Shorts, and that made people create millions of these AI channels. And now people are getting, flagged left and right. So that's probably a big reason. It depends on when you made your channel. If you made it in the last like 6 months, that's a good reason why. Another one too is then, the video topics just aren't great themselves, which that presentation that you should have a copy now, which should help a lot with. Um, how would I apply this to health coaching niche, high ticket targeting, pro athletes? So yeah, big thing for you is, go through that presentation, especially where how I come up with video topics, but you just want to hit on what are the topics that people, are searching for the most in health coaching, right? You always want to catch them in the middle of the process. What are they searching for? How can your videos be the first thing that pops up when they search for these terms? How can you bring in the right viewers and not just as many eyeballs as possible? Because you can make sales on a video with 50 views if those 50 views are all people who are interested in health coaching, right? So yeah, that'd be the ideation section would be really important for you for that presentation. Should you use your old channel if you haven't posted in years? If your old channel has no videos on it, totally fine to start up a new topic on it. But if you started off posting gym vlog videos, but now you want to teach people how to do Amazon FBA, like you should just start a new channel because that old audience is pretty dormant, inactive. And won't do much for you. But if you have less than like 200 subscribers, it's completely fine. Um, where's the presentation? I will resend it again here in the chat. Um, what's the key learning that you wish you would know that years earlier that makes a huge difference? I think the big thing is what Ty kind of already mentioned. Like, don't get stuck in analysis paralysis. You need to actually start making your videos, go through that time where you're collecting data, keep iterating on, what's working and try and make it better. And also just spending as much time as possible on education. So there's a lot of people, they start an agency, they become a guru or whatever, and they don't continue to learn. They don't see what's working for other people. They don't, spend that time. But for me, myself, like I spend as much time, not as much, but for fulfillment with my clients, I'm also spending 5 to 10 hours a week watching other creators, learning from them, seeing, what's new, what's working, how can I implement it for my clients. So just making yourself more aware to succeed. Um, can we drop the link? Yeah, I just sent it. What is the most important thing when creating videos that generate the most minutes watched? So it's just handling on topics that people actually want. So, the video that will get you the most minutes watched on your channel is a free course video. It'll get you the most search traffic because you're basically hitting on every single pillar of what it means to start that business model. So like I showed for CJ, our free course is about 40 something minutes long. We talk about what TikTok Shop is, why I should start, how to create videos, how to edit videos, and every single step of the process. And those are interesting topics for someone who wants to learn the business model. They want to know that, so they will stick through the entire thing, and that will get you your most minutes watched. Um, I see how this applies to coaching or teaching, but how do you do this for e-com selling physical products? So with physical products, SaaS tools, etc., it's just trying to meet them with what solution your product actually solves, right? For example, with a SaaS product, there's this good channel out there. I'll see if I can find it later, but essentially, like they have a tool that helps you mass send cold emails, right? So their videos are how to book 10 to 30 extra qualified calls per month with cold email. But in the actual video themselves, they go through how their tool is actually doing it, right? Same thing. If your product gives a certain result, make a video around topics that the solution that your product solves, right? So it's the same kind of thing there. Um, what would you say about doing videos through YouTube app alone? I've had bad experience with it. And I think it kind of sucks. It doesn't really matter. You know, I post all my videos on desktop, laptop. It doesn't really matter where you post from. All that matters is the video good itself is an idea that people want. You know, you'll see, and as you guys see, scroll reels, watch content, you'll see people saying, turn on these settings, post at this time, do this. Like none of that stuff matters. On Alex's channel, sometimes we post at 4 in the morning. Nobody's awake to watch those videos, but it's because they're good ideas that generate traffic over time. You know, that's why they do so well. So it's always spend most of your time on ideation and the rest will follow suit. So don't like look into things like the app, the desktop, like that stuff doesn't do anything for you. I'll do one last question. Um, if the Shorts app often crashes, then yeah, I would just use desktop. That's just like a phone issue though. Um, I'll see if I missed anything. Tips to burst, tips to boost first 1 to 10K subs. Once again, like don't look at your channel as how many subs can I get. It's more so, you know, how can I hit on topics that people are actually searching for? Like I showed you with our clients CJ and Alex, they've both done over 6 figures on YouTube and they have less than 10,000 subscribers. And that's over the span of like 4 to 6 months, right? But it's in a short amount of videos. So yeah. What's my handle? I'll draw my Instagram here and then I'll wrap it up. Perfect. So yeah, if anyone else any other questions, just shoot me a DM on IG and I'll help you guys out. But appreciate the time. Thanks, Ty. Thanks, Christine. Thanks to everybody. And you know, if they'd have me, I'd love to come back in the future. But cool. Awesome spending time with you guys.